Welcome to the CompTIA A+ 220 1101 or Core 1 exam, Objective 1.4 Mobile Device Connectivity. If you ever connected an external device to your tablet or mobile phone, then you've had to go through the Bluetooth pairing process. This is a security function that allows you to control exactly what devices are able to communicate to your mobile phone or your tablet. This commonly requires you to view or verify a particular phrase or personal identification number to be assured that you're really connecting the device you have in front of you. This pairing process is something you only have to do one time. From that point forward, anytime these devices are together, they will automatically connect and network with each other. The process I'll give you in this video for Bluetooth pairing is a very generic one, but each of the steps may vary just a little bit, depending on your device you're using. Make sure you check with the manufacturer to understand the exact pairing process and what buttons you need to configure. The first step in the pairing process is making sure that both devices are configured to use Bluetooth. Some devices, like a mobile phone, allow you to disable the Bluetooth functionality, so make sure that it is turned on both devices that you're pairing. Then you'll set the devices to discoverable mode so they can see each other. This will require a certain set of key sequences that you put into this mode. For example, if you have a headset and you're holding a particular button or pushing it a number of times until it's discoverable. Once your device is in discoverable mode, it should show up on a list of available devices on the Bluetooth. There may be a number of devices on the list, especially if you're in an area with a lot of Bluetooth devices. You'll want to choose the correct one. Bluetooth devices in your immediate area will prompt you for a confirmation or a code or a personal identification number or a PIN. This ensures that there's some level of security and you know what device you're connecting to. And that's it. Now you're paired and you're ready to use that device. And here's a slide with the recap of all of those steps. So you'll have to turn on Bluetooth mode. Usually it's in setting in Bluetooth across iOS, or it could be Android. Sometimes you'll have a key sequence or a password. You have to turn it on and be discoverable. It might be a sequence of pressing buttons or turning something on. You might have to confirm a code or a PIN back from that device, and then you should connect and test the connectivity. Many of our mobile phones are communicating to multiple satellites every day using GPS or the Global Positioning System. These GPS satellites were originally created by the U.S. Department of Defense, and there are currently over 30 GPS satellites in orbit around the Earth. This allows us to get very precise navigation from our devices, and as long as our phone is able to hear the signals coming from at least 4 of these satellites, we can now get very precise information about where we happen to be in the world. Our phones are able to calculate where we happen to be based on timing differences from all of those different satellites. We're able to calculate longitude, latitude, and altitude of where we might be located. We don't commonly see these signals that we are receiving from a GPS satellite, but we do see the results of these signals. We commonly see this when we have maps or when we have directions to a particular location, and our phone can calculate exactly where we are relative to where we need to be. Our phones are also very smart in how they gather information about where we are located in the world, and often GPS is one of those primary sources. But our phones can also use Wi-Fi connectivity and identify cellular towers in our area to narrow down more precisely where we might happen to be in a large organization or may be responsible for managing all these devices that are being used by different employees. One way to manage all these different devices and different employees in a different organization would be through an MDM. Well, that would be a mobile device management or MDM system. This means that you can manage all of the company-owned phones or any phones that users might want to bring to work or to a network. We call this Bring Your Own Device or BYOD. We commonly use our phones as one large storage device, but when we have part of the phone being used for personal use and part of the phone being used for work, then we might want to use an MDM to partition out the company data and protect different data from the other part of the phone. This also means that if you need to delete or remove any of the company data, you can do that from the mobile device without affecting any of the user's private data. This might also be a good way to increase the security of your mobile devices. For example, you can use the MDM to manage the type of access control that's being used on mobile phones. For example, you may require that the screen automatically lock after a few minutes. Or maybe you want them to use a personal identification number to unlock the phone. This can make things easy for the end user. Instead of them having to go to settings and configure this all, you can do it for them from an MDM. From configuring email or having different types of settings, it's all possible in an MDM. The user doesn't have to configure or set up anything on their end. They instantly can see the change once it connects to the network. The MDM is a good way to add enhanced security features to other devices. Security controls may require different kinds of authentication. A two-factor authentication on these devices would be much more secure than just using one. Also, enabling biometrics or unlocking the phone with something more personalized may make it more secure. You can use MDMs to push down applications that are useful for these authentications. MDMs can control what applications are available on the mobile phone. There may be certain applications that require you to use in the corporate environment, so an MDM can ensure that they're already configured. MDMs can also prevent certain applications from being installed. This also increases the security on the phone, and it can restrict installation of known problems. Okay, we're at the end of Objective 1.4. What is the best way to manage the most diverse amount of smartphones in a corporate environment? A. Apple configurator. B. USB backups. C. An MDM console. Or D. OneDrive. And the answer is an MDM console. So you can install MDMs on any kind of phone or devices and you can manage them all in one console. It doesn't matter if they're Apple or Android. It'll work across any device. Thank you for watching.